Well, look, I'm working full day all week, you know.
The vacuum cleaner broke too.
No, I mean, and look, I don't have dinner when I come home. It's crazy.
Sorry,
Domestic violence is really all about power and control, and the abuser wants to exert power and control over the partner.
Types of abuse include verbal, physical, mental, emotional, sexual, as well as financial.
Domestic violence can happen to anybody, any one of us, regardless of race, religion, educational background, financial status, can find ourselves the victim, and on the same side of that, anybody can be a perpetrator.
The first behaviors that I noticed in him that stood out were controlling, extremely controlling of every aspect of me, every aspect, down to setting up my password for my computer or my phone, or just very controlling.
When I was in the relationship, I was petrified, absolutely petrified. I didn't know what to do, I didn't know what to say, I didn't know how to act, basically. I was a zombie.
I was frustrated with myself, frustrated with everyone around me. I felt isolated from the world because I was trapped in a relationship, and I felt that I didn't have a way out.
I was injured, permanently injured. And there were times when I really didn't want to have sexual intercourse with my wife. I was forced to. She didn't believe that I was hurting. There was some physical things thrown at me, mentally being cursed at. And I thought, you know what, I'm a big guy. I'm supposed to take this as a man. I can take this, but it got overwhelming. And I started to see that it was affecting not only me, it was my kid.
My children were horribly damaged by it. And that is something that I am working through right now, because I feel guilty over that. And I was supposed to protect them, but I had a hard time protecting myself.
He started threatening my family. He started to threaten that he was going to burn my house down. When I was going home, I had bruises all over me.
He was verbally abusive. Then it was starting to get like physical. It was always like, I'm apologizing to you, but you have to keep in mind that you were guilty of what happened.
LI Against Domestic Violence can provide a holistic approach to an individual that's suffering in one of these relationships, whether that be through a 24-hour hotline, the safety of our shelter, advocates within the precincts and the courts, client-centered counseling, as well as vocational services to get back independence and provide the community with education and hopefully put an end to DV.
LI Against Domestic Violence helped me get my life back. They gave me a place to call when I had nowhere else to go.
The first day I came here, I couldn't even get a sentence out of myself. It was a complete mess. And just to see a person there that has like the empathy and is able to look at you and be like, it's okay, it means a lot. So every person here, even like the one that says hi to you when you first walk in, they just give you the right support. Like it just changes your life.
What I've gained through this place is just immeasurable. The counseling has been enormous in my recovery, in my growth, in finding my voice again.
I realized through group is that when I talk, I help other people. It's not necessarily, it's not the room. We make the meeting by understanding, and therefore we're not right. The counselors will always come in and correct us, you know, but that's the key. And it felt like I was a part of something. I wasn't alone.
It's been an amazing experience coming through these doors. They have given me something I should have always had, is a sense of self and a sense of hope, and I feel very hopeful for my future. Every time I get out of the elevator and I see that sign, like at first it used to just give me a chill that my life had brought me here. And I look at that now and I smile, because it's the happiest I've ever been, is being in this place. And I don't look at it as shame. It's not shame. I've survived it, and I've bettered myself tremendously. My children have benefited from it tremendously. They're so grateful to have their mom again. When I was first asked to be interviewed, I was concerned about my identity. I was asked if I wanted my voice distorted, and I was very adamant about wanting my voice to be heard, because I felt like it was distinguished and stifled for so long that I was very comfortable with using my voice. I would say to anybody in a situation like mine or similar to mine, trust the person you know best, and that's yourself. I do think anyone experiencing it knows in their heart. It's so hard to say it out loud, because when you say it out loud, you have to face it. It's scary. It is a journey. It's so worthwhile. And seeing on the other side, there's a sense of calmness in my life. I don't have fear. I don't have shame. It's so freeing. It was worth every struggle.
The advice I would give them is just speak up. You're not alone in it. So don't feel like you are, because there's a lot of people who are definitely out there and they will help you.
My advice to anyone that is going through an abusive relationship is to don't be afraid of leaving. I know it's hard because you feel that the person is your entire world, but there's a lot of people out there trying to help you, a lot of people there that loves you, and I think that you always have to remember who you were before you got into the relationship. Take the time to find help and don't be afraid.
Do not feel that you're too macho just to accept anything from anybody, because that was my problem, number one. You don't have to prove your strength. You don't have to fight back. When you fight back with knowledge, you gotta want to do it.
For anyone who is currently out there and struggling with domestic violence, I would encourage them to call the hotline if it's safe for them to do so, and just learn some tools and resources. They may not be ready to take major steps, but there's some little things that everybody can do to really get safer in the relationship, or if they want to leave.
Like I said, it was not easy. It's worth it. It's so worth it.